My name's Jacob. I'm the Connections pastor here at New Life Church, and I'll be excited to share with you some more information about what's going on at our community center, because there is a second title that I bear that many of you may not know about. In addition to being our Connections pastor here at New Life Church, I am also, as of very recently, I am the president of our board of directors here for the New Life Community Center. So it's a nice, I oversee the community center as it relates to my job, and I get to have, spend a lot of time with our board, who are a group of incredible people you'll be hearing from later on this morning. And today we are putting a special focus on our New Life Community Center. If you've been attending our church for any amount of time, you've probably seen it. It's very hard to miss. It's a large building that's attached right behind us. And so that is a dream that it predates me. It predates even Pastor Jason, as he'll talk about a little bit later on this morning. It's been part of this church. It's been a hope and a dream for years, and the church has always been its primary backbone and support as it has operated. And so for years, there's been fundraising and saving. We've had to buy up properties and tear down buildings in order to clear out the land in order to make space for the center. And then finally, very excitingly, if you guys can put up that next slide, we broke ground in 2019 on building the center. Many of you were here for that. Many of you probably remember it well. Some of you can probably tell the history of this center better than I could. And so we have some more photos of the groundbreaking and some drone shots if you guys want to just cycle through that. You can see what that day was like. And what's incredible is that this center was put together by some incredible construction crews. It was also put together by some incredible volunteers and people who have helped us out here at New Life. Some of you probably, again, were part of building that center. You're probably looking at things and framing and whatnot that was put up, and you go, oh, yeah, I remember helping with that, or I remember seeing this thing, and there's all sorts of crazy stuff. It's wild to look back and see what the center looked like when it was just the bones and putting everything together. And so it's been an incredible thing. And finally, then we opened in the fall. Environment that supports, encourages, and enriches our community. And so since opening, we have worked very hard to fulfill that mission. We have had hundreds of families and thousands of children come through our doors. We've put on free events like Bounce House Bashes, which I think we have some footage of that we can play, where we've just opened up the gym, let tons of children in to have a blast. They jump on bounce houses, we sell concessions, and they have a great time. We have welcomed, hundreds of families through. We've had people here for the Easter egg hunts and for our fall carnival. In the winter months, we actually have non-stop rentals for birthday parties, because everything gets snowed over and then there's nothing to do and there's nowhere to go and people need places to be and celebrate parties, and we're here for that. And we love to rent out our play zone and give people access to it. We've been in talks with some businesses about even renting out our commercial kitchen. And just to mention a few things that we've used for here at the church, Mega Sports Camp, we've used it for the Fall Carnival, as I've said, our Easter egg hunts, we use it for our Wednesday night Boys and Girls Ministries. It's Sunday morning Little Kid Zone. If you have dropped your preschooler off at church this morning, they were over being blessed by that playground as we speak. We've used it for recently our Valentine's dinner, our Ladies Red Carpet event. We bless people with funeral meals. Our NL youth have used it for fundraisers to go on missions trips and camps and conventions. Our young adult ministry uses it every weekend after service at 12:15. They have a room in the mezzanine that is for them. And our awesome and delicious men's breakfasts also make use of that community center. On top of that, we host so many different community groups. There's pickleball groups. Special Olympics uses our gym. The Escanaba Panthers, we have community volleyball groups. We have homeschool basketball teams that practice in our gym. We've had homeschool basketball tournaments in our community center, welcoming people from all across the state and even Wisconsin to just play basketball and compete right here in that center. for summer school, Lemmer across the street has brought students over to just have some recreation time and play in our playground and enjoy it and have a blast. And we've even got a foster parent support group that has met using our community center and so much more. I actually don't have time this morning to list every group and every event that has happened in the center. We have done so much. And actually, we have a little highlight video we'd like to play for you just to showcase a few more of those events. And while they do, I would like to ask our incredible New Life Community Center board to join me on stage here for a moment. Wonderful. And so, yeah, again, just a few more things. And so off here to my left are our wonderful New Life Community Center board. Can you guys give it up for them really quick? We have had the pleasure and the privilege of having a number of excellent people serve on our community center board since before it opened and since we've opened. And if you have served on our board and helped make decisions and guide the center, I would just want to say thank you to all of you who have served, and thank you to all of you who are currently part of our board. And I do just want to take a few moments to introduce everybody here, just in case you don't know them. First is that she wasn't able to join us for service this morning, but Rose Scheel is one of our board members who faithfully serves with us each and every month as we meet. We have Ronnie Ogren, who has just recently finished her time of service with the New Life Community Center board and will be sharing with us this morning. Jaylene Keneally is our treasurer, who helps us keep track of all of the complicated, crazy community center finances, which we so sorely need. Thank you. We have Scott Craig, who you all probably know very well, who's another faithful board member. And then we have Marcia Short and Cheryl Duchesne, who is our secretary. I got it right this time. Scott was our previous secretary, and last service I told everyone he still was. But so Cheryl keeps dutiful notes of all of our board minutes and everything that we do. And so they are here. Some of them will be sharing with us in just a few moments. Marcia and Cheryl will both be at our community center table in the connections area after service to answer any questions that anybody might have, to give you more information about the center and just, talk it up because we love it, and that's what we're here to do today because God's doing so many incredible things. And so I am going to hand the floor off to our incredible team, and they will be sharing with each and every one of you more about what God has been doing through the center.
All right, so I need to share about the pickleball group. Started as a small life group run by somebody from the church, and it has grown into a family. When I said I was going to do this, I was trying to figure out what to say, and then up on my Facebook feed popped a couple of things. So 4 years ago, a friend who I didn't know 4 years ago said, I tried pickleball for the first time today, fully addicted already, even though I had a full wipeout. If anyone is ever looking for an extra player, hit me up. Well, then she posted this memory just this past week that said, apparently 4 years ago today, my life changed forever. What would I do without my pickleball crew now? And it's not about pickleball. It's about the fellowship. They get so many people sometimes that you spend more time sitting on the sidelines than you do playing, but they're making connections. And they're so thankful for the opportunity to be here, and they're very, very willing to give back. They've been a part of our fall carnival. They've been here when we'd held concerts. They even got down on their hands and knees and cleaned that gym floor of the scuff marks. So, and when I told them I was going to be here today singing their praises, they posted on the site that we needed to say prayers for one of our members who's going to be having surgery tomorrow. So we are so grateful for what you have done to bring the community center to life, and they're very thankful for this family that you've helped us create.
Good morning, everyone. Like Pastor Jake said, my name is Jayleen Keneally, and I am the treasurer for the community center. I have been the treasurer for a little over a year now, but this will be my 3rd year volunteering in the play zone during open hours. I have 2 kids, ages 8 and 6. I love that our community has a safe indoor place for them to run around and act like kids during those cold, dreary months in the winter. Because there is no fee charged, we will go play even if we only have a half hour or 20 minutes. I don't feel like we have to stay to get our money's worth. There are tables for me to sit at. I can knock some things off my to-do list, read a book, or socialize with other parents while they play. We are able to bring in snacks and drinks because we all know how hungry and thirsty kids get when they are running around. We go to the play zone about once or twice a month. More times than not, there is a friend from school that they are able to play with and they don't want to leave. One of their favorite parts about me volunteering is that once the play zone closes, they get to stay and play while I clean up. It's like their own private play zone for that extra 15 minutes.
Jake, I guess I didn't realize you have fake grass up here.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, how thorough of you.
Oh, here. I'll move this out of the way.
Ronnie had mentioned the pickleball players over there, and so we try and engage over there with the guests, and so I was over there talking to them, and they invited me to play. So I said, well, okay, I lettered in tennis in high school, so I'm going to do this. And I got out there, and the guy served the ball, and I took my confident swing, and nothing. Nothing but the sound of the ball hitting the wall behind me. So turns out that the pickleball doesn't bounce near as high as a tennis ball. So they have classes this fall that I intend on joining, and anybody here can also join those classes. That should be happening this fall, pickleball classes over there. Matthew 24:37, Jesus says, the greatest commandment in the law is to love one another as I have loved you. I was reading the thing there. Love your neighbor as yourself. No, the greatest commandment is to love God with all your heart, soul, and mind. And the second commandment is to love your neighbor as yourself. And in verse 40, he says, all the law and prophets hang on these 2 commandments. And boy, of all the things that could have been that second commandment, right? I mean, that I can think of that are very important, he chose to love one another as yourself. So that's very important. And that is what we're doing at the community center. We're fulfilling that second commandment. A few areas that I personally have experienced over there is recently ladies ministry volunteers. They will prepare and serve food for people who have funerals here, their family and guests. And what a loving gesture that was. And so props to ladies ministries. That's a really great outreach, and I appreciated it personally. Men's breakfast is also another thing that is free to attend, open to the community, and it's great to get to know all the guys and to encourage one another, maybe some accountability. And so, yeah, I've met many people there for the first time. I can think of a couple, Troy, Woody, who's not here, Joe. I think Joe's here, right? Joe Fain, there he is. And so, yeah, it's been a pleasure getting to know these guys, and that's through Men's Breakfast. But by far, the play zone is the most popular over there. And families can come there and spend some time in an environment that's controlled and indoors. And it's a 3-story play zone obstacle course. And they are very appreciative that we offer that to them for free of charge. So when they leave, there's many smiles. Some tears when the littles don't want to leave, they'll throw a little fit. But it's a great experience and a great way to connect to our community. As a board member, we agreed to volunteer over there because we have a priority on engaging with the guests at the community center, right? So we do spend time over there once a month. We have to volunteer, and we look forward to that. Also, the pastors are very intentional about going over there when there's guests there and introducing themselves and being present. John 13:34, a new commandment I give you, love one another as I have loved you. And by this they will know that you are my disciples. And so that is what we're doing at the community center in a big way. And one final note, a good way to support the community center is to purchase a legacy brick, which is placed outside the door in the ground permanently. And we will be purchasing a legacy brick for Lorraine this morning, and it'll say, in loving memory of Lorraine Krantz. And so we're looking forward to that. And thank you, Jake, for wearing this hat. You do a wonderful job for the board, and it's much appreciated.
Thank you, Scott. Can you guys give it up one more time for our incredible board? I'm not just saying things just to say things. They are an incredible group of people to volunteer alongside with. We are what we might consider a working board, so we don't just sit in a room here at the church, make some executive level decisions, and then go home, sip coffee, and call it a day. We're doing the legwork. We're in the community center volunteering regularly. Us as pastors are volunteering regularly. We're working on community outreach and trying to connect with business owners and people in the area to spread awareness. We're doing all of that together as a board and finding new ways to make that possible each and every week, every month, every day to bless people. But every story that you've heard this morning so far, every event that we've highlighted, every incredible thing, all of it has been made possible thanks to the giving of the people from this church. And so before I carry on, we actually have a message from Pastor Jason about our community center as well.
Hey, today is a really special day. Pastor Monica and I wish we could be there with you to kind of celebrate this community center day. But I just want to take a moment to share really the history of the community center. And let me just say this, it was not my idea. It wasn't even this generation's idea. The community center idea came back several generations before us. When they first built this building, what we call New Life Church, in the original blueprints, it included a gym. In other words, God had placed this idea of New Life being a lighthouse to our community many, many years ago before us. And we just kept running with that idea at God's right timing. So when we built the community center as it is today, it was during a season when we felt like we were really engaging our community, but everything for families and kids was disappearing. Remember the playground when kids could ride the go-karts and miniature golf? That was removed. Remember McDonald's and they had the playground? That was removed. Remember Burger King with their playground? That was removed. One thing after another, there was nothing for families to engage. Also, it was really, really an intense time for drug addiction, which it still is, but we felt like, what if we could create an environment that invited families to come and enjoy really life with one another? So that was kind of the spirit behind the current community center that we have. A gymnasium, a kitchen, and a playground that invites the whole community to come together. We want to keep going forward at the community center. We haven't really begun to use the commercial kitchen yet. One of the ideas that we have is, what if we had a place that had hot dogs and food and families could come and hang out and eat, and that's one of the visions that we have. But I just want to say, hey, thank you for being a part of what God's doing. And I just want to ask you to prayerfully consider helping us get out of the debt that we have with the community center. We're so thankful for what God has begun to do, and we're thankful for what he's going to continue to do. Thank you for being a part of what God is doing at New Life and in our world and our culture today.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor Jason. And so, absolutely. And so he talked about how, again, this dream, this vision for the center, it's for generations that it's been here. And so we're excited to be able to now be able to make use of it. Scott already referenced this verse before, but I'll mention it again because this community center is how we as a church fulfill both the Great Commandment and the Great Commission. So in Mark chapter 12, Jesus says, the most important one, answered Jesus, is this: Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and with all your strength. The second is this: love your neighbor as yourself. There is no commandment greater than these. In Matthew chapter 28, verses 18 through 20, he says, Then Jesus came to them and said, All authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. Therefore go and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit, and teaching them to obey everything I have commanded you. And surely I am with you always to the very end of the age. One of the things we still are going to highlight for the center is that we connect with families through everything that we do. We have an incredible team of volunteers who have been making our open hours possible. And one of the things that we do, we are on mission with, is connecting with families and connecting them with the church, that they come, they enjoy the center, they build relationships with people here, they see the events that we have going on, and then out of curiosity, they check out some events or they start attending. And we have families that have become part of New Life Church thanks to what we are doing over in the community center. Oh, come on, you guys can get excited for that. It is a gospel, community-loving arm of our church, and we are so blessed to have it. We are so blessed that it's something that exists and that we can bring people to and raise awareness of. And so we're just so glad to see the things that God has been doing. We're excited for what God is going to continue to do through the center. Like Pastor Jason said, we haven't even begun. He said we haven't even begun to use the kitchen. I would say we haven't even really begun to use the center to its full potential. We are working on ways to make that possible, but to have people come through and enjoy meals together, it'd be an incredible thing to extend our open hours beyond the weekends and stretch them throughout the week so that after school or during holiday events, we have families that can come through and play during breaks or when they need something to do during the day. If we have stay-at-home moms that just need a place to be for a few hours, we'd love to be able to open and be available, to host more groups and more people as they come through the gym, and to be able to just impact our community in so many different ways. And one of those things that how we make that possible, how we take that step into the future, really is with your support. I mentioned that the church has always been the backbone of this community center. People within our own four walls have helped build it and put it together. People have given to it in so many different ways and raised fundraising support for it. People have volunteered their time and their energy to just make open hours and things like that possible. As I'm looking around the room, I see several faces. And so if you have given to the community center, if you have supported the community center in any way, I just want to say thank you, because these stories are made possible. God has done all of these things through you, through something as simple as volunteering a couple of hours on a Saturday, or putting some framing and joists together, or helping clean a stove. If you have helped with this center, you have helped make these things possible, and God has used you in that way. So thank you for that. That being said, it can always use more support. It's a big center. We have big dreams, and we'd love you to come alongside us and make it possible. One of the ways that you can help us support the center is by helping us but there are also community groups that make a difference that really we don't really charge those traditional rates for. They graciously give us donations as a thank you for being able to be there, but we don't always charge every group a rate because we want to be able to bless organizations that make a difference in our community. We want to be able to give back to the people around us and give them a space to do practices and sports and community events. And so to be able to do that again is funded by the generosity of people here and people all around Delta County. And so we ask that you would prayerfully consider your support of the center, however that may look. But above all, I want you guys to get excited about what you're doing. We haven't really had a specific day where we've talked about the center in the years that it's been open. We'll give reports and business meetings on all of the incredible things that are doing, but I want you guys to just hear the amazing things that God has been doing for the last 3 years. We're about to go into year 4, and it's going to be a blast. It's going to be an incredible time. I can't wait to see all of the things that are in store, all of the ways that we are going to grow, all of the ways that God will continue to work through this center to have us be that lighthouse to our community, because it's such a beautiful, beautiful thing. And so above all, if you can't do any of the supports that I've mentioned, you can always pray for the center. And we ask that you are always supporting us with your prayers and giving of your time that way. But if you would join me in standing this morning as we close out, I mentioned that it's very much a gospel arm of our church. We evangelize, we reach the community because we want people to know Jesus. That's why we do everything that we do. That's why everything that exists is the way that it is for us as a church, because we want people to have that relationship with Jesus Christ. We want people to have that relationship with God, that joy and that life in Him. And so while we celebrate those who have come to Jesus through the center, we also want to give opportunity for those here in this house who may not have that relationship to step into it today. And so with every head bowed and with every eye closed, that maybe that's you today, that you don't have that relationship with Christ. And I can tell you this, is that His word promises that a thief comes to steal, kill, and destroy. Jesus came so that you may have life and have it to the full. That we who were separated from the grace of God, separated by our own sin, by our own decisions that we've talked about this morning, that God is so good. God loved us so much that He sent His one and only Son to die for you and for me, to die for the world, yes, but also you and me. God loved each and every one of us so much that it was His joy to go to the cross on our behalf. And so if you want to step into relationship with Him, no one looking around, no one placing pressure on you, if you would just put your hand up into the air and say, yep, that's me. I'm going to make that decision. I'm going to commit myself to Christ this day. I see those hands. Thank you, guys. I'm going to lead us all in a prayer. And I say this every time, is that if we just say the words and we don't mean them, they don't mean anything. And if we mean them, they mean everything. And so if you would all please repeat after me. Jesus, I admit that I have sinned and fallen short of your plans for me. I confess my sin to you, and I accept your forgiveness. I ask you to be the Lord and Savior of my life. Amen. Amen. Can we give it up for those who have given their lives to Christ this morning?